really do
Over
need to
here.
find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Hey, you! Hey! Over here! Where are you going? Well... Fine. Just ignore me. What could I know?
What's your story?
What would you say? Right now, I'm slightly scruffy nothing.
But I don't have any money. Look at me. I don't have anything at all.
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern, but I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad, but don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed, although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Have you seen Bailiff Thrush? I have. He's been grinning like a daisy on a gang heap for days on end.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad. So far.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zhelyevites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village.
What do you mean, more?
That we found someone. I've been digging up bodies ever.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
As the local scribe, you know a lot of things, right?
I'd say so. In this province, not a squirrel farts without my knowing.
Right. So, if I needed to get something, you'd certainly be able to tell me where, right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Don't involve me with anything dishonorable.
No, don't worry. I'm just looking for some armor.
Armor? Well, unless you want to join von Burgau's retinue, I don't think I can help you. But try Radovan, the blacksmith in Takhov. He might at least sell you an iron helmet.
You don't know of anything better?
Aha! So, the good man is a connoisseur, eh? And how would Prince Brunswick's armor suit you?
Whose armor?
Oh, it's just a local legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms, for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Then what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup. So it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyak of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, and died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenyak didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyak was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenyak was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armour here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armour?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone. Behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock. A subtle niche, yet deeper still. A place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell! I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go.
God be with you. What would you like?
I'd like to apologise for that brawl. Lord Capon is a bit hot-headed.
That Capon of yours is a puffed-up fool, more to the point. But that was some punch, I'll give him that. And you fought like a lion and all. We outnumbered you, but we still had our work cut out.
But you were better. If they hadn't dragged us apart, we wouldn't have stood a chance.
Aye, but you wouldn't avoid the stocks even so. People in the village don't like strangers, and my father is no different. In any case, as far as the two of us are concerned, it's all water under the bridge, right?
Right.
You can see I'm not some idiot, can't you? I just don't like haughty fuckers. And you aren't one, are you?
I hope not.
I'm sure you aren't. You're a good lad. I can tell. And a good brawler as well. If you ever want a proper workout and some fisticuffs, Lawrence the Zhelyov innkeeper is your man. Farewell.
Don't tell me what it is.
I've told...
Oh nein, du Bettler. Was willst du?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you are not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Katharinen. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trotsky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are a hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh ja. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here. And Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Good day to you. Show me your wares.
Wie schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
What do you have for sale? I'd like to do something about that price.
Gut, versuchen wir's.
Is this enough?
You won't convince me with this. Nein, so bestimmt nicht. I'm done. Thank you and take care.
I'll have a look at the...
Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Jesus Christ be praised. Another of von Burgov's men. Another of von Burgov's men? But this one has a cross.
Damn aching legs.
What do you have for sale?
Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
Oh, gods. I wonder what their names were. I see they haven't been forgotten, and the locals still worship them. I can't really blame them seeing the state of this land.
Hail, good man. Want to warm up a little?
Greetings, sweet maiden. How are you faring, girl?
Well, you know how it is. We minstrels are always on the move. Times are lean and folk need a laugh.
You're not wrong. The poorer people get, the more they drink and sin. and laugh while they're at it.
The poor man sins, the noble sins twice, but the monk and priest are the masters of vice.
What's your name, minstrel girl?
They call me Dancer, but I go by many other names.
And can I hear them?
If you come by after a show, maybe I'll let you give me one yourself, handsome. But now, alas, there's no time to perform. We have to leave here in all haste.
Why the rush?
Our tricks and jests rubbed some respectable old farts up the wrong way at the town hall. Our tomcat entertained the bailiff's wife, in the hay, and he caught them in the act.
I bet he didn't find it funny, did he? And they say there's no place for sin anymore.
Indeed. The bailiff don't take to his pizzle being yanked.
I'm afraid it is time to part, minstrel girl.
Farewell, handsome. Maybe our paths will cross again.
Christ, you stink to high heaven!
You don't have the best reputation around here. But just this once, we'll forget about that.
What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Fuck you, whoreson!
You're a dead man! You know that!
Cut the bullshit and fight! Enough! I give up! Let me live!
Drop your weapon and leave.
No! I won't let you disarm me. I'd rather die with my weapon.
Oh, there's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. nice bit of venison, and something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Dead, and robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him. Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, Sakra. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Samine these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks. Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena, remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Pavlena is young, and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl. And pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here?
What?
I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
She didn't pack up her stuff. I don't think she was planning to be gone for long.
I told you, didn't I? Pavlena wouldn't run off.
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her. It was good to see you, my friend.
One called woman.
Don't cause any trouble.
They look like
Got it?
angels
I'll
on
be
the
with you.
outside. Soft, gentle, and well formed. Enough to turn even an honest man's head. But under the... God bless.
Greetings. What do you need?
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Kopanina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Kopanina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No. But there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's not from round here, but...
Let me guess. A dirty ruffian who ain't got a groschen to his name but acts like he owns the bloody place.
He was here then?
Aye, he was. He was larging it up good and proper, and then he found some lads who paid his bill, unfortunately.
What do you mean by that? Why unfortunately?
Because they're right ruffians who are always up to no good. But still, birds of a feather, eh? In the end, they left like best pals, but got no idea where they went.
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
Vostatek, Lord von Berghoff's huntsman, is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlark Pond. So if you know your way round the woods, you could go and offer him your help. But I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. One more thing. You're not going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden.
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
They often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hands. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a tradition. By the way, old Olbram from Zheleov keeps complaining about the Takovites. If you go and see him, I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But, well, he takes a bit of getting used to, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
You'll see. I mean, here, and that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting. Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
I'd like to try the fights here.
Why not? But it won't be for free. But if you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
Fine. I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
Since our Czech Dante don't like it, I'll give him another one for good measure. How my heart
What is it, you scoundrel?
I need to take a load off.
Certainly. My baths are at your service.
I've got a few wounds that need taking care of, and I need a hot bath. And wash my clothes, too, so I don't look like a beggar.
Excellent. Pay up and we can get started.
Let's talk about the price.
Certainly. No problem.
What would you say to this?
Look, offer a bit more and we can make a deal. Excellent. I'm sure you'll be very satisfied.